Good good evening. 12 minutes after the hour of 11 p.m. You're watching Encounters. We'll be here to 12:45 a.m. Here on Encounters. Welcome to the show. I am CmdrAleon, and this is a real UFO talk show here on social media. Hello, Casey, Fishboy, Zion Rock, Meriwether, Amina, everybody out there. We are back. Yes, indeed. I only have one account, and last night, unfortunately, I was knocked off, and I peeled it, and I peeled it in 2 seconds, and I explained why, and I got the account back up. Good to have you, everybody, here. Encounters is a actual UFO talk show, and we're here to tell you and interview people that are having sightings. We're going to get into a lot of stuff tonight. And I've been watching a lot of, there's a few people that I've contacted on TikTok that are really getting footage of not things that are man-made. They're getting things that are actually orbs or look like really bright circular lights over the waters. And these UAPs or UFOs, these are different than the things that people have been posting that looks sort of like a plane or a jet or a small vehicle. And now my cat's talking because I'm on here. I'm on here and my cat's talking. Get that. Give me one moment here and we'll be right back. Actually, we're still right here. All right, so welcome to Encounters. If you're here, this is a show where we go talk about disclosure. We get into the whole extraterrestrial area. We don't just talk about these things. And also people's sightings. And we have our apple cider tonight. And this show is always for entertainment purposes only. And again, this is a talk show. DJ Raven, good to see you. You know, as I always say, you cannot keep a good commander down, nor can you keep the truth away from the people. And we're going to go into it. So after last night, I decided I know I'm doing something right because what happened to me was because I was doing something absolutely correct, telling the people, again, for entertainment purposes only, the truth. You see? And I don't have to be live showing you 5 orbs in the sky to do what I'm doing. All I have to do is tell you what's going on, right? That's pretty much it. Hey, Leanna, good to see you. Everybody coming in here. Rachel, all the good people out there around the world, welcome to Encounters. And later in the show, we'll probably show you, again, for educational purposes, some video footage. I'm just getting amped up here. And my cat's going nuts, as usual. And we're going to definitely get into some stuff. Now, there's a lot of things that are happening here as I've been observing what people have been posting. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people on TikTok posting real interesting things. One of the things that is really starting to get kind of weird, and maybe some of you, do I believe the UFOs are from God? The spaceships that are the real spaceships, they're from other planetary systems for entertainment purposes. They're from other planetary systems, life elsewhere in the universe. Just like we have life here, if we would travel to another planet, people might say the same thing, but we all come from that creator source, God, you know? And yeah, so everything is connected, but those are just vehicles to travel in from another part of the universe to come here. Now, I think there is at least 3 different things happening in our skies. One is the craft that are off the oceans or off the coast. Those things are coming. I think those things, without a question, are not anything other than spaceships of different types of spaceships, vehicles. I've had enough weeks and weeks and weeks of observing video footage to have a pretty keen eye at what I'm looking at. Now, the other objects that are going over places, I heard a woman said they're now in upstate New York, somewhere they're seeing them up there. Connecticut, where we are, people are seeing them here. A lot of weird stuff is going on here. I mean, a lot of strange stuff. And one of my observations is, what really interests me is there was a woman in Massachusetts on live earlier tonight. I don't know if she's still on. I was looking at her live, and she claims where she was, there was no airports. And there were multiple objects that looked very bright and circular. And she explained where she was. She knew the area where she was. She was telling people, oh, these are not planes. And they weren't conventional aircraft. These things were going in and out there. They would like bleep in and bleep out, and 2 or 3 of them, there were a bunch of them. She like a bunch of these objects, Yeah, the beach camps, Catherine Miller. So the ones that are coming out of the oceans, again, we talked about how there are USOs in the oceans, and these USOs, the underwater sea objects, they're coming from space bases in the oceans. Like we talked about Lemuria, Atlantis, we talked about the inner Earth. There are entrances and exits in our oceans where these craft can come into. They can travel in the oceans from one place to the other in a nanosecond, So it's very interesting what's happening here. And the other thing that's really kind of weird, have you noticed some people have been posting videos in different parts of the country that people's car lights have been going on? Like I was watching a video, and then I said, oh, let me check and see if there's other people having this thing happen. Lights will go on and off on cars. And that's pretty weird. I mean, this is actual footage I've seen. I'm not making this story up. Yep, and pilots are reporting them. Now, pilots all over the world are reporting objects in the sky. They don't look specifically like what people are seeing in different parts of the country. The other thing is, there was a woman who posted a video. Buffalo Break will bring you up. Again, you have to be over 18. No foul language, no drugs, no drunks, no smoking on the show, no cursing, no paranormal discussion, no politics, no religion. And if you have information to share regarding all of this, you can get into the multi-Q option. You have to have 50 plus viewers, people 50 plus followers. And please share and like. We're at 6.23. When you see the numbers up on the top, if everybody presses their screen, like the little heart, will start popping. So if you all tap the screen, even if you're not going to be a guest on the show, you can show your support. Tap that screen. Get our numbers up before 12:45 to 100,000. I think we can do it. Greg says, I don't have enough viewers. How will I ever? You actually do have enough viewers. You have 673 followers. So, Greg, you have enough followers to be a guest and come on live. So get in the queue. And if you have something you want to share, what's happening right now, we want to hear about it. And again, I'm randomly going to select people in the queue. Again, my background is I'm a contactee from the 1960s. I had specific contact with space people that were human in light blue outfits, and it was like a flying saucer type craft. I lived in Long Island in Plainview when I was a kid, and I just happened to go upstairs into my parents' room, and then I saw the object, and they were communicating telepathically, which they do. The space people, the good space people, use telepathy. That's how they communicate. Like we talk and use words, they use telepathy. And that was my first experience. But I always had what you call UFO sightings. You used to call them UFOs. And they didn't call them flying saucers. Well, they did, but they didn't. It was called UFOs. And then later on, as I got older, I had experiences in Vermont and other places where I was. And then one of my experiences in the 1980s, twice, coming home from work on Interstate 84 from the coast, I saw a huge golden object to the north of me, north of Danbury, and it was spinning around with like holographic symbols on the ship. I was sitting there. I had a two-way radio at the time. I was trying to get truckers and people to look. I said, "Oh, that probably is not going to work because they're on the highway." And I saw that, and then I saw also in the early 1980s, mid 80s, I saw a large ship coming out of the club. I used to DJ, and I came out of this club in a parking lot, which behind the shopping area was all woods, because this is like south of Waterbury and on the Middlebury Naugatuck line in Connecticut back then. And this thing was hovering on a hill, and it was the size of 2 football fields. Actually, it had 4 tubular bottoms. I remember everything. Had a center that was circular. It had lights like crazy, and it was spinning around like really slowly. I watched it for 35 minutes. That was in the 1980s. So I have a lot of background. I'm involved in CE5 in Connecticut. We have a group here that goes out. We know what to look for. We know what's a plane, what's swamp gas, what's a satellite. So I know every single defined conventional aircraft that's out there, whether it's a military jet or whatever. I'm very familiar with that, you know. All right, so we're going to get started here, and we're going to see what's happening. But again, what's really the newest thing happening right now is it seems where these objects are in some places in the country. I don't know about in Europe if it's happening there too. Whole shopping centers. I saw a video earlier tonight. Person was recording the lights in the shopping center. Those tall pole lights. All the lights were blinking on and off. I saw 2 videos earlier today in different parts of the country in a parking lot where the person saw all these empty cars with their lights blinking, flashing on and off. You know, the car lights, they were all flashing. I saw another video, all flashing. What's going on here? You know, what is that? You know, this is getting kind of crazy. You know, it's really getting kind of crazy in a way that is, you know, you would think you were in a sci-fi movie, that we're all living in a sci-fi movie, but we're not living in a sci-fi movie. Something major is happening here. Now, there's a lot of theories. There's a lot of theories by a lot of different people on social media, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or whatever, Facebook. Everybody has a theory and everyone should have one. Michael's saying contact is imminent. Okay, so we're going to be random here. And like we do talk about contact here, so we're going to really get into this thing because I'm at the point now where I've been feeling pretty weird. You know, I don't know if you've been feeling weird, but I've been feeling extremely weird. Like I'm living in a different time. Like it's like I can't even put into words. I just feel today was the weirdest day I've ever felt in my whole life. And I can't explain it. I just can't explain it. If you're telling me you don't feel something's going to happen or you don't feel weird, now understand when I say that, I don't mean it in a, like I'm freaked out. I feel weird like there's a shift happening. There's some sort of energy shift happening, you know? And I can't really put it into words. It's just something that is happening, you know? Something major is happening. And yeah, there's something very big happening here, you know? There's no way around it. Now I go into places like I go to the store today. People are shopping for books for Christmas. I go to Barnes and Nobles or whatever. You know, I don't know what people are thinking. I'm not reading their energies or whatever. But absolutely, I got to believe the whole world is paying attention to this, or at least some of the world is. Maybe not all of 8 billion people, but I think some people are paying attention to it. You know? Yeah, it's just this feeling. And that's why it's so important to do my show here. Because we need to get to the answer. We need to get to the truth. I've been doing this show for 2 years. When I first started, I had no idea this was going to happen now. And I know pretty much a lot of things. This whole thing took me by surprise. I knew that we were going to have increased UFO sightings, gradually increasing all over the place. I didn't expect this. This is off the charts. This thing is off the charts. Like, you know what I mean? It really is. So let's see what's happening here. And like I said, there's a lot going on here. We're going to bring up, I think we're going to bring up Buffalo Bill first, then Ghost Cat. I got a lot of requests here. If you want to get in the multi-guest option, please do. If you're having sightings over your part of the world, in Europe or Asia or Africa, the United States, want to hear it, when we hear the latest information from you, we'll get into some video stuff later. I'm going to go with Buffalo Bill. And again, you have to be over 18. Let me just turn this light on here. Wait a minute.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing good. I forgot to do one major thing here to bring the lighting up. And my other light, which I need to put in here, let me turn it on. Okay, there we go. Just going to move it a little bit here. All right. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was actually on a few months ago talking about some experiences.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so I live right by Cape Canaveral where they do all the space launches, and I also live next to a Space Force military base, which used to be Air Force and then transferred over to Space Force when that all happened. But I mean, lately, the last 2 weeks, I've been seeing so many objects, and especially at night, but just like orb looking like glow. It's not even like the drones almost, but it's like orb just glowing like in the sky. It's unbelievable. And I haven't taken any videos personally, but there's just so much activity, and it's crazy how it's coming all the way down to Florida.
And when you see these things, I've seen 3 or 4 different types of objects now. So we can say now, after about 2 or 3 weeks of this, that this is happening all over. It's starting to happen all over the place. It's happened in Europe and England, UK area. I mean, these objects aren't all the same. I know people are videotaping large orb circular objects, which are way different than these things that people see, that people keep using the D word. So, what are you seeing, and what does it look like? Can you explain it to the audience?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, it's an orb object, like a ball of energy almost in the sky, and it's just kind of glowing, and there's always like multiple around, and they're just kind of going in circles, or they're just it's like drone type movements in the sky just going around, and it's just very, very weird. And also, I know you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned the flickering, and that actually I've witnessed. All of our street lights were flickering for like about 10 minutes or so, and it was pretty
When you say 10 minutes or so, can you tell us what you're up in upstate New York, correct? Or what you're in
no,
Florida?
I'm in Florida actually. I know the name
Okay,
is
okay. So where in Florida are you, and what date did the lights start flickering in Florida where you are?
this was actually yesterday, and I am Cape
Yesterday.
Canaveral. Yes.
And what time did the lights start flickering?
I would say about 9 p.m. So like when it was like getting dark about an hour later, and then yeah, lights were flickering all outside.
Has it been on the local news? Has anybody paid attention to it? Or
So
people in
weirdly,
your area?
no. I did try to look on the local news to see if it was there, and nothing was. It's been very weird. So like no news really reports on it, and not really even with the drones or the orbed objects in the sky. So it's very interesting. Nothing's getting reported on.
Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of a media blackout. Interesting. I mean, if I were a news station, I'd want to cover something like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But a lot of stuff going on over by the space station. So I just wanted to come on and say
Yeah.
that.
Do you think the people at the space station down there? Do you think they're watching this stuff? They have the monitoring equipment at the
Oh, for
Cape
sure.
Canaveral.
I mean, there is a beach across from the Space Force. It's Patrick Air Force Base. It used to be called, but
Wow.
now Space Force. But yeah, the beaches are pretty active at night with people out there looking in the sky. So
So are people at the beaches confirming seeing objects over the ocean?
oh yeah, hmm
Really? Now, are
yeah.
these? I've heard reports that these objects are coming out of the ocean into the sky. Is that
I
correct?
have heard that the same thing. So I'm very curious what's going on. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
can't confirm anything myself, but yeah.
Wow, interesting, interesting.
Well, thank
Well,
you
you're
for
our
letting
first.
me up here. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's good to see you again, and you appreciate. This is the kind of thing we need to know, that we need to hear from all over the world, is what's going on right now, because this thing is getting really crazy, and I just think that the government's going to try to control the information, and they can't really do that because we're here to tell you what's happening, and you're the
I
ones who are seeing
agree.
it.
I hope everyone stays calm and just keeps their eyes open and keeps being aware. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. Okay, brother. Well, I thank you for being our first
Yeah,
guest, giving
thank you
us
so
information
much.
from Florida, Cape Canaveral, and we're going to bring you down. I appreciate it. And let me see.
Thank
My
you.
next guest is going to be here. I'm going to go into the queue. If you want to be a guest, you got to get into the queue here. We're going to bring up Jules, and then we're going to bring up. Actually, let's see. Who am I going to do here? Bring up Jules, and then I'm going to bring up the real, and then Ghost Cat, and then I'll bring up 999. Again, to be a guest, you have to be over 18. No foul language, no smoking on the show, no drugs, no drinking, no paranormal discussion, no kids in the show, no cursing, and no politics, no religion. Jules, good evening.
Hi there, how you doing?
We're doing good. Things are getting pretty wild.
Yeah, you're not kidding. So I don't see a lot over here. I'm in a small town, Moses Lake, Washington, but I went out tonight. I love the full moon. I just think it's beautiful. And I went out tonight and I took a few pictures and I noticed in one I took, I like to get it like through the trees. I didn't see it when I took the picture, but after I looked at it later, I just kind of looked around. There's a bunch of little blue orbs. Most of them are round, but then one had a little squiggly shape, and I was like, "Wow, those are weird looking." They weren't moving or anything because it was just a still picture, but I just found
Yeah,
it very interesting. But I hadn't seen those before, but I did get some the other night. I did a little bit of video, and there was these round plasma looking things. You know how they have those balls and you can touch them and the energy goes like to your hand or wherever?
yeah, the
They look
plasma
like
ball
that
thing. Yeah,
inside. What's it called?
it's called they're called well, the thing's called plasma ships. Over the years in Brazil, they call them plasma ships. They look they're big and they move. They have like an orangey plasma like color to them.
Yeah, yeah. These had like yellow and orange inside of them. It was weird. They're not, but the things I
Yeah,
just saw tonight were
plasmoids.
just,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, anyway, I found that kind of
plasmoids.
interesting. I
Yeah.
just wanted to share that. But I haven't
Oh,
seen
thank you.
anything more exciting than that. So,
Well, yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure everybody out there around the world who has not seen anything yet is about to have something happen here because, like I said, as we get towards the end of the year into 2025, I mean, we think things are
yeah.
crazy now. I think there's going to be an uptake in sighting. Hey, James, good to see you, brother. Thank you for the
I'm ready
gift,
for
cameo.
whatever.
Yeah, see, it's good. I think we all have to be ready for whatever.
Yeah, because whatever it is, it is. You know, we just got to keep an open mind. I don't think it's anything we should be scared of. I think the
No,
government
we shouldn't be.
likes
We
to
shouldn't be
control
scared of it.
people with scare
Yeah,
tactics. You know, all this stuff they've been doing since 2019. That's all they've been doing just to distract from whatever is really going on. So, you
yeah.
know, they
Oh, I'm
can't hide
sure.
either.
No, as I said this for the last 2 years. I said the reason, the Pentagon started an organization website to show UAPs. Though when it first started, I said, "Oh, this is great. They're starting a thing. They're going to be transparent. They're going to show us some stuff on their website for aerial phenomena." Initially, there was some videos that were, put there that the Air Force jets had radar tracking systems of footage. I said, "Oh, this is good. Not as good as some of the stuff you out there can do. I mean, I've seen better videos from people out here in the last 2 years than I've seen from the Air Force,
Hmm.
to tell you the truth. Um, and maybe, I think the governments are afraid, in my opinion, because people on here are recording these things,
Yeah.
and no one can stop you from taking your phone out and recording a spaceship or an orb or something that's in the sky or coming out of the ocean. That's your freedom to do so. Until they take that away, you're able to do it, right?
Yeah, it's just so weird that you can't see some stuff with the naked eye, but then once you start videoing with your phone, it's a whole different thing. It's just so
Yeah,
weird.
absolutely. I mean, we went up to a place called Lyman Orchards in Connecticut to look at meteorites, but the moon was so bright it was hard to see anything. So then, I'm looking there looking for, spaceships. That's why I go up there. I know what to look for, but I didn't see anything. There was just commercial air traffic, nothing unusual.
So does a telescope help at all to see things like that? Because I've always
A
wanted to get
telescope
one.
helps, but I think I have night vision equipment. Everybody, I have the third generation military night vision equipment. It's too cold to go out there and do it right now. In the warmer weather, it's easier. And what that does, the lenses of a night vision equipment allows me to see things that you cannot see with the human eye. So I can see,
Oh,
if a spaceship that's cloaked goes by, I can see it with the equipment. It's third generation night vision. You
cool.
might, if you can afford it, might want to invest in that. That'll help you see things that are not being seen. They're military grade. There's a number of companies that make them, and I've got one. They run about $2,000 to $3,000, but it's worth it.
Oh my goodness. No, I'll pass.
Yeah.
I'll just wait till they land in my yard.
Okay. Well, that's good. Just do
Kidding.
meditation.
I'm
Get the
joking.
C5 app. This is, I know you are. I would suggest also people on 759 people, if you don't have the C5 app, download it. It's Dr. Stephen Greer's app. I'd recommend it with things happening now. If you get the app now, that's a good time to get it.
What's
Study
it
the
called?
protocol. It's called CE5, Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It's called the CE5 app. If you have an Android phone or an iPhone, you can download it on your app, and it's worth it. And it gives you the protocol, how to proceed through meditation with a group of people, and how to proceed to have contact with non-terrestrial intelligence of the good kind.
Okay.
Yeah,
Put it
absolutely, I
on there.
recommend it. Yeah,
Well, thank
absolutely.
you for having me up.
Well, thanks for coming back up, Jules, and have a great night. All right.
You too.
We'll bring Jules down, and now we're going to bring people up in the app. Who am I going to bring up next? I'm going to bring up Real, and then I'm going to bring up a ghost, and I'm just going to randomly get everybody up here. Don't worry about it. I'll get all my guest interviews up here.
Hey,
Real
what's
G,
up,
we've had
bro?
you up here. Hey, how's it going, man? It's good to see you again.
So I was on TikTok, like I'm always on TikTok, and I seen this
Yeah.
video that actually really concerned me. They said that these nukes, I mean, I'm sorry, that these that these drones could be sniffing out nukes.
So I don't know what that is. I didn't see it. I've been watching all the sighting videos mostly because and I've been watching these videos of people's car lights in parking lots going on and off, which is really strange now. That's just started happening. Um, in terms of the nuclear bases, the Ashtar Command people, the space people in the 60s, there was a documentary on one of the History Channel or something. They did do a documentary actually about it. I wish I had written it down a long time ago, but it shows about how Air Force bases during the Cold War, their nuclear facilities were shut down during the Cold War because of the Cold War. And back then, when we were kids, there was a threat of possible nuclear war in the 60s and 70s until they had a treaty in the 1980s with
Hmm.
Gorbachev. So we lived in very weird times then. But in terms of the UFO stuff, there were people who retired who said, "Yeah, I used to be in a nuclear silo, and all our equipment went down, and there was these objects that looked like flying saucers over the base. They shut everything down." So what you're seeing now is because I think with the generation of, the discussion of these things recently in the last few months about Russia and all these other countries with their capabilities, that I think that the space people, the actual space people, are sending unmanned objects over these bases in the UK, the Royal Air Force, United States facilities that have these kinds of things, and they're monitoring these weapon systems. They're monitoring, well, not the weapon systems, they're monitoring to make sure that I think we don't use anything like that because it would have a reverberation effect on other planetary systems. That's my opinion. That's my thinking.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking that maybe someone did smuggle in some I don't know, like a nuke warhead or something, and these orbs that we're seeing are
Well, it's not
actually
so much that. If there's an Air Force base, they have these are government-made weapons that are already there. It's not being smuggled in. These are weapons that these Air Force bases have. Royal Air Force, the Russian Air Force has their own stuff. All the countries that are big have them. I think they're concerned that they don't want to see us do something ridiculous and have a problem that's going to create problems for other places in the world. You know?
right. Well, I've been seeing also videos, and I thought it was fake at first, but then I scrolled and there was like another 10 videos of the same thing where
Hmm.
there's interference in the radio, where they're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to
I've been
listen
watching.
to it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm not sure what to make of that yet. I'm still on the fence with that one. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, we were trying to watch a Christmas movie earlier today, and our TV went crazy. I don't know what was
Really?
happening. Yeah, it was going crazy. It was like all staticky and everything was
And what
plugged in
time?
right.
And what time was that?
About 7:30.
7:30. Did you go outside to see if there was any objects in the sky, any UFOs or anything?
No, but when it happened, there was a drone that flew over the house.
Really? And can you tell
Yeah.
me what well, I don't want to use that word too much. I mean, you can use it. What did it look like?
Well, the drone basically, looks like a regular aircraft. You can't really tell the difference, but to me, I think the drone has brighter LED lights. So
Hmm.
that's how I could really, that's how I could tell that it's a drone and also how it's flying so low.
Okay. And there's somebody says, he's saying, put me on now. I have the sound thing figured out. I know everyone has an opinion about the sound. I've heard like a number of different TikTokers with telling, recording the sound that they had on their car radio and stuff like that. I'm interested in various opinions about what people are hearing on the radio that they have in their car. We'll get to that too.
It sounds
Okay,
like
well,
it sounds like they're actually like trying to communicate with them. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm watching a movie. It
mhm.
doesn't feel like real life.
And the videos I've seen of people showing these sounds coming over their FM radios or radios, it sounds like it's garbled, but it sounds like there is some sort of communications that
Yes,
it
yes.
can't. It's like you're trying to tune in and listen to what they're saying, but they're trying to give a message over the radio, and you can't quite understand what they're saying. Correct?
Exactly. It seems like they're trying to communicate, like they're trying to say something, but you can't really
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah.
You know,
So do you think they're interfering with people's radios to try to let them know that we are here, and but they can't get through in a language that we understand. That the languaging is kind of distorted.
absolutely, it could be a huge possibility. That's what they do.
Hmm. Interesting.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I also been seeing, like red orbs in the sky, and
Red orbs. Tell us what
yeah,
those look
red
like.
orbs. Small, bright, like really bright red orbs, and they just they don't move. It's not
Hmm
stars or anything. They
hmm
just sit there.
And if you had to take a telescope, would you say they're really high up in the atmosphere?
Yes.
So let me ask you a question, leading
Sure.
question. They're high up in the atmosphere. They're red orbs. I've heard of that.
hmm
What do you feel when you see those red orbs versus this other thing?
I feel a lot of I've been feeling a lot of anxiety.
Hmm
Like
hmm
getting really nervous, like something's about
hmm
to happen.
hmm
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I literally been feeling like a ton of anxiety.
hmm Have you tried, since, obviously everyone's going to, I can't tell anyone how to feel. I want you to feel the way you want to feel. That's just part of the human, emotion. But
hmm
have you tried to do any meditation to try to calm your anxiety down at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do meditation. I just, I go for a walk or something, or,
Hmm
you know, but I
hmm
haven't feel like I had a panic attack before. And I think because I got really like nervous about what this person said, because I keep
hmm
thinking that every 3 seconds a nuclear bomb is going to go off in my
Yeah,
town and we're
don't,
going to,
I would not go by one person, because that one person's energy affects other person's energy. So
yes,
I would not put too much stuff into into the suit bag or something. I would definitely try, meditating, listen to some higher dimensional ambient music. You can do it on YouTube with images. Sit there, close your eyes, just relax, take a couple deep breaths and relax now, because everyone's gonna, some people are freaking out, some people are like really excited. So everyone's having different emotions, but don't put all your stuff in one bag or one basket by one person says, because that's only one person's expression of their opinion. It doesn't mean it's true.
well, I'm also excited too. I'm definitely
Yeah.
excited, but it's
Okay.
just, I've been feeling a lot of anxiety too.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you're here. And I'm also here to help people get through the anxiety, because I'm also a contactee. I'm also involved with the spiritual cosmic aspects of the whole thing. So that, I really want to help people here not to get too, I know there's mixed emotions out there around the world right now, and this is really kind of taking people by storm. Like it's like not something you expected right away, but
Yeah.
we'll get through it. We're all here together. My show's here to help people out and hear your stories and help you get through this thing, because we're all in this together. It's not one person; it's all of us on this planet.
Well,
All
like
here together.
I'm talking to you right now, trying to calm myself down, and my legs are literally shaking. It's just, I
Yeah,
guess it's built up anxiety, stress, or
yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what's going on.
but now that you're talking about it, you're letting it go. Right now, you're getting all that
Right,
anxiety out by words.
right.
So that the healthiest thing you did is come on here and talk about it, because else you would have been having that anxiety going to sleep tonight.
hmm I think it will be a lot better if, these people were just to say something to give us answers on like, what is going on, because so many
hmm
people are in the dark,
hmm
and it's like
Yeah.
that's what's causing the anxiety.
Yeah, no, it's okay to have anxiety, fear. That's human emotions. The thing is to be able to work through it. And again, when I hear that word, I will definitely, because I do meditation and I do have done workshops to take people through a meditative state off planet. I would just say, just simply using like Christ conscious ambient music or ambient space music, automatically with the breathing exercises for 30 minutes, you'll actually calm down. You'll feel better.
Yeah. Okay. And
All right.
somebody asked how Joanna is. Joanna is doing great, and we haven't made no videos in like a week because of all this going on.
Yeah,
So hopefully we
yeah.
can
I
get back to
gotcha.
content.
You will. You gotta take care of your physical and spiritual mental self. That's the most important thing you do.
Absolutely. Well, before I let you go, do you think we are very, very close to something that's going to be like, yeah, like,
Oh yeah. Actually I ran into two friends of mine at an Italian restaurant picking up a gift card, and they said, "Commander, what are you doing here?" These are people I've been working with for years. They're local. They're people in the spiritual world that I worked with the Ashtar Command, with the space people, and they told me that. I said, what do you think's happening here? They feel that we're on the cusp of something big. Again, I don't like to go ahead of myself. I think that we're going to have a lot of visual things happening. and things that we've never seen happen before on our planet are going to happen that are going to probably say, what's going on here? And I think the what's going on here is going to be the biggest thing, is for everybody out here, you're going to have a what's going on here moment. It could be tomorrow night. It could be next week. Who knows when it's going to be? I'm not going to predict anything right now. As
Right.
far as I'm concerned, I'm just going, fluid with whatever's happening each moment, each day. I'm looking at what people are posting here, the video footage people are posting. I'm selecting videos that I think are really, especially the videos from over the water, whether it's Pacific or Atlantic Ocean, the
Yeah.
objects coming out of the water.
Hmm.
If you're going to tell me the objects coming out of the water are Earth-based technology, I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, that's not the case.
Yeah, exactly. I've been seeing those live streams that they've been doing. They're actually
Yeah.
doing Seaside Beach, and that's not too far from me. And
Okay.
I literally seen the ocean light up with orbs,
Yeah.
and it's
You
insane.
should go out to Seaside Beach one night and record some of that stuff.
Yeah, ET go home.
No, you should. No, you should just go out there after you do the meditation. Go out there and think of it positively and record some stuff. And I'd like to see it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, bro,
You
I'll
know,
let you go. I know you got more people waiting. Thank you so much for
absolutely.
having me up, and
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you.
All right. All right, Jay. Take care. Be well.
Bye.
And so we've got plenty of time here. We're here till 12:45 a.m. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon. Um, no, Margaret, there's no need to do that. Tell us to get gas masks and stay inside. No need to. Why would you want to do that? That's all fear-based stuff. We don't need to do any of that stuff. What we need to do is know the truth. Thank you, Clanson. Hey, Karen. Good to see you and everybody coming in here. One of the things you can bet on in the 2 years I've been here, um, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. And Melody, thank you for the hat. I appreciate the gift. I just want you to know there's so much going on here that you wouldn't believe it. And I think a lot of people who have never had these experiences all over the country, all over the world, are starting to take their phones out and they're seeing things over their village, farm area, country area, city area. Tons of stuff, lots of stuff, you know. We're going to be doing some more guest interviews here. I just want to take a quick look at what videos I'm going to be showing you tonight, because I will definitely be showing you some footage on the show here, and we're going to get into it. Let's just see here. Give me a minute. You're watching Encounters. And let's just see here for a minute. And I understand. I'm looking at one of these things. It's a red orb. Let's see here. That seems to be the red orbs are happening. There's a lot of people, reports coming in from all over the place here. I'm going to try to show some footage. I showed that one already. There's just a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see. I'm going to go to some other video. I've got everything pretty much set up here. Now, there's a story coming out of Brooklyn, New York. 2 orange orbs with a third orb ejecting in Brooklyn, New York. So in Brooklyn, New York, there are 2 orbs. And then one orb ejects from the other orb. Let's see here. So these definitely are orbs, not the other type of things that you've been seeing. And these things are moving over Brooklyn, New York. Somebody videotaped that. All kinds of weird stuff going on. Here's another one. This is interesting. It could be a mothership. This is one I want to show. This was a short 7-second video, but it's too short. And then Kingston, Ontario. Lights moving over Kingston, Ontario, Canada, December 13th, 8:15 p.m. It's the second night in a row in Kingston, Ontario. And we're going to show, I think we're going to get into that video. So we're going to save that. And we'll show that tonight. There's plenty of stuff here I can show you. We're going to get to some video footage tonight as well. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. So these 10 orbs in one night and on the other night. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to bring Ghost Cat up. I see all of you out here. I'll get to everybody here. So, everyone who wants to get in here, I will get to you, I promise. Ghost Cat, you're our next guest here. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. I don't know if you remember me. We used to, when you first started, I'm sorry, I have really bad allergies. I followed you, and then I don't know where you went. I don't know if you went offline.
Oh,
And
no, yeah, go ahead.
I didn't see you. It was when you first started out.
Yeah, I remember you all the way back.
Yeah, yeah. I've been
I saw your
following
name. I
you.
said, Ghost Cat. That looks familiar to me,
Yeah, yeah. Good
How have
to
you
see
been?
you. I've been good. I've
Are
been
you able
good.
are you able to come on? Can you come on camera? Are you presentable?
I can, but I'm in my room. I'm in California and it's dark. I can,
Oh, it's dark.
you wouldn't
Okay.
be able to see. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
I have a couple things to share with you. It was a couple, let's see. Yeah, it was Friday night because there were drones. Here, I can turn my camera on. Maybe you can see me. I don't know if you, yeah, there. Can you see me?
Not yet. You have to press save when you press the camera. Oh, there you go. I can see. Yeah, we can see you. Everyone can see you. There you go. Good to see
Okay.
you back.
Thank you. So a couple nights ago, I had seen on TikTok where I'm in California and down in Temecula, they were seeing the drones and the drones were spraying. And so that day I'm on several panels. I was on a panel and I said, you know what? I'm going to go out tonight because that's only an hour away from me. And oh, my light from my laptop went out. So anyway, I went out and the sun had just set and it was about 6, and there were drones. And what was really interesting is the way that they were positioned. There were to the east, the one in the middle was bigger, and then there were two to the sides. Then to the south, same formation. To the east, same formation. And for some reason, I couldn't see to the north
Hmm.
that same formation. But then when one of the smaller ones would leave, when they would move, the lights would either, it was like a greenish blue when they were moving and for 5 seconds, and then it would turn red. And I noticed one started going south toward
Hmm.
Temecula. It's cold here because I live in the desert.
In the desert.
So
Okay.
I came in the house, and then I was on a panel yesterday, and this was the subject. And I always think about you when I'm talking to these people. And this lady who lives in New Jersey had gone outside to take her dog outside and didn't have her jacket on. And she saw she had 3 pictures of the plasmic.
Really,
And
plasma.
yes, yeah. And she sent them to one of the girls on the panel, and she sent it and he showed them. And then I thought, that looks strange. And then today, I was on TikTok, and this girl, and she wasn't holding the camera still, but it
Right.
was one of the what are they called? Plasmic?
Actually, I call them plasma ships or plasma. They're like in Brazil. They documented this a number of years ago. A gentleman recorded them. They look sort of like a glowing orange object. Some of them look like an egg shape. Some of them they're plasma
Yeah,
energy.
yeah. And hold on, I'll turn my lamp on. Let me get my lamp on so I
Yeah.
can. There,
There you go.
there. Okay. So she had those, and then earlier I was on, and one of the drones went into the plasma,
Yeah.
and it looked like it couldn't penetrate it, and the drone just crashed.
I'm gonna be showing that video tonight for educational purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So that video, I watched it over and over again because of my background in media, in radio and TV. And when
Uh-huh.
I saw it, I had to think, what is that object? Now, as I thought about it, it could have been somebody with their own drone going up that high up with a expensive drone trying to get close to that object. And then what the extraterrestrial craft did, which is extraterrestrial, when I looked at it, it knocked the power out of it, and that's why it went down.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't being there wasn't any kind of an attack going on or anything.
No, no,
It was
no.
definitely it was somebody's drone who
Yeah.
probably spent a lot of money. They put it up there to try to get close enough to see it, and the energy effect, the energy from the plasma shift or whatever, knocked it out and went down. It's as simple as that. It's nothing, it's
Yeah.
nothing to get freaked out about. That's just what happened. I've heard
No,
reports of that happening.
I felt the same as you. I felt that what had happened, it, got close enough to where it interfered with its frequency and disconnected it. Like the
Yeah,
light, same thing, and people, we need to stay calm. And also, I was reading an article tonight where a pilot was, and then I went a little bit deeper. Washington, Portland, and Oregon, and actually he left the Washington airport, and it was a
yeah.
medical plane. And
Wow.
he said to the air traffic control, and he said what was so the pilot said to the air traffic control, we're encountering a ship that is coming straight at us.
Wow.
The air traffic control responded, just maintain your course. And he said, oh my God, he said that when they came at him, they jumped in their seats, the pilots.
Really?
And he said that because they came forward and backwards, and then they went toward the ocean. And the air traffic control said to him, oh, this is, we get this all the time.
The air
So,
traffic controller told the air pilot, "We get this all the time."
yes,
Now, when he said the
yes,
ship was coming closer, did he say it was like it sounded like it was a big craft, a big ship?
yes, yes, he said it was like 3 times the size of their craft that they were.
Really?
Yeah,
Now this is something. Now, I haven't heard
yeah,
anything like this yet. When did this
yes.
happen?
I believe it happened either yesterday or today because I read so
Really?
much. Yeah, I read so much. Just like I was reading this YouTube, this guy's name is, I
Mm,
believe, John High,
mm.
and he predicted that this was going to happen when
Did that? Did the pilots record anything? Is there any video that they didn't see? They were
they
freaked out.
didn't
They just
they didn't say that in an article, but I do believe, I used to work for the airlines. I do believe that I would think that they would have some kind of,
somebody must have recorded something. Maybe a passenger.
yeah,
That would be interesting.
yeah,
Now the
yeah,
fact this is what I mean, folks. These things, like she just mentioned, they said it was a big ship. They didn't say it was a drone. That they were seeing a big ship that went out towards the ocean. The ship went out towards the ocean, right? The
yeah.
craft.
He said it kind of played with them a little bit, and then he said that, but every time it left, he said it went toward the ocean.
Towards the ocean.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And then this
Wow.
other girl in Wisconsin, she went outside. I don't know if she was letting her dog out, or maybe she went out for, you know, I think she said she went out to have a cigarette.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
she had her phone, and she took a picture, and her phone couldn't even capture how big this thing was. And she said
Wow.
she just, put it out and ran in the house, and she's afraid to leave her house.
Oh, she shouldn't be afraid to leave her house. If she got a picture of a big ship, that's pretty amazing. That I mean, we need to document this stuff now, folks. There's all these things happening now. I think we're getting ready for something major, and I've been talking about visual sightings first. I'm not talking about physical contact yet. I think that, in my opinion, the people from other planets, the inner Earth space people, the people that live in our oceans that have the spaceship technology. They're preparing us for contact, and the only way they can do it is in the oceans, above the off coast. These other objects that are being seen, I think, are different than the ones that are the round circular orbs and the mothership that these pilots saw, spaceship. Very different from what people are reporting in, like, say, New Jersey or Massachusetts, New Hampshire, or
Yeah,
whatever. Very different.
that's, that's what I'm noticing. I'm noticing the plasmic. I'm noticing the metal. And what was really interesting is one, and it was in a rectangle. One was orange. I'm sorry, that orange blue, where the girl
Hmm.
saw the huge one, and she only got half of it. And one triangle was green, and it was like underneath it. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm kind of interested in maybe do some research when I have some time. The lighting seems to be in all these crafts, except for
Hmm.
the plasmic ones, because
Right.
they seem to be more translucent to me.
Right. Right.
And
So I
the go ahead.
no, I was going to say the plasma ships are always been intriguing to me. When the Brazilian person, I don't remember his name, I do. I think I have a picture. Let me see if I have a picture I can show people of one of these plasma things. Let's see here. I don't think I have one up here that you can see. I don't, but I do have a picture, or somewhere I have a picture of the plasma type ships. I'll show it. I can probably on my tablet. I can probably show it one night. But they're very beautiful looking, and
Yes.
the beings in those ships, they come from very high frequency, very high vibrational patterns of frequency. They're not low vibrational ETs or beings or anything.
Yeah, and that's what I try to explain to people. I I explained it to my daughter-in-law. I said, people don't understand that we are frequency, and
Hmm.
we respond to different frequencies, our
Hmm.
bodies. And
Yeah.
I told her, because there's different, I have the frequencies on my phone. If I get a migraine, I'll hit a maybe 467. It all depends on the depth of my headache, and I listen to that, and it takes it away, and do
Yeah.
my meditation. And I think that, like you said, meditating, getting acclimated with frequencies, staying calm, getting overstressed and worried about what can be isn't going to change anything. it's
Yeah.
it's whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I don't
Yeah.
feel, I'm an empath. I don't feel. I will say this to you: when those drones were over my house, I have a pit bull, and she was just up in arms. And what I found really ironic is she wouldn't leave my side. She sleeps in my
Hmm.
bed, but it was like any noise, she would like jump. And at 2 o'clock in the morning,
Hmm.
she jumped and her head went up. And I'd been sick. I was going to go out, but I live alone. And I, I know, I don't know. I felt that I missed something that I should have been there for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Interesting.
yeah,
Hmm.
so now it's calm. I have calm, and she's not, all. So now let's today, the shift. I felt the shift today.
Yes, yeah. Today was a really important day, I felt, because all day I felt the energies. I never get affected really the way I was affected today. So it's calm now, but earlier today I felt like there was this energy that was like I couldn't figure out why I was feeling weird today. The whole day I felt strange, and I never do that. And it felt like something major happened, major.
Yeah, well, because there is, and you know it,
Yeah.
and I know it,
Oh
and
yeah, definitely know it.
there's just too many things. I mean, they've always been there. I've seen them myself,
Yeah.
um, but like I said, there is a lot going on,
And
and
and the thing is that I want people over the world to know this on Encounters. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm a professional talk show host. I'm also a contactee, and also telepathically and also directly communicating telepathically with my space family pretty much regularly, but just for promotional purposes and for entertainment purposes only. Uh, so there's a lot going on, and I think we're like I said, you've watched me for 2 years. You've seen me. I've said to people 2 years ago when I came on here. Luckily, I did that we're going to have visual contact in 2025, but I was wrong about one thing. I didn't expect it to happen right before the end of the year, but I was definitely wrong about that. But things are happening that we have no control over. And the other thing I want to say is that the government, the media, and this is my opinion, the government and the media around the world, I don't know about media in other countries, but here in the United States, they're covering this stuff on like ABC and other channels. I'm sure CNN, Fox, they're talking about it, but not in the way we're talking about it. They're talking about it like, oh, what can we do? How are we gonna, we have, how are we gonna stop them? They talk to public officials, people in Washington. They're talking about, they're talking like it's a threat to our planet or something. And the threat to our planet, in my opinion, has always been the cover up for 70 years by the Pentagon and the government regarding extraterrestrial intelligence. That's been the threat, not not
well,
the not the space beings.
yeah, and I agree with you, and I see a lot of people in the chat. Um, the government has known about this for years. I'm not going to go too deep because uh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really deep, and then if you don't, you know. But no, don't be scared. There's nothing
hmm
there's nothing to fear. There really isn't. Um, and that's what Commander just said. The news, they're putting fear in everybody. And if that's what's happening to you, and you're getting over inundated, don't watch TV then.
right,
Do something, meditate, do something that makes you feel good.
yeah.
Um, and
And also just also these people on YouTube or on TikTok here. If you see anybody producing fear-based stuff, and there are people doing it, I've seen the
yes,
videos here. Do not give in to those people that are promoting their opinions in fear-based videos, because what they're basically presenting is their own energy, not the
yes,
energy of what's happening. They're saying, "In my energy, I'm freaking out, so you're going to have to freak out with me." And that's not what you should be doing. No one should be freaking out. No one should be afraid. No one should be hiding in their basement. The people don't have to be afraid of anything. You have to stay strong. You have to understand, on my show here, we're going to tell you as much cosmic truth as we can here, as I always have for 2 years. And I just want to keep people on the up and up of what's really going on here. And if you're going to be
absolutely.
afraid because of someone's video that they presented, a fear-based video, it doesn't mean that they're correct. It just means that they're presenting a fear of their own energy to everybody else on a video. That's it. That's basically it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And like Commander said, surround yourself with people that reinforce positivity in your life. And I mean, there's so much going on in the negativity in the world right now. I mean, let's look at this as something maybe that's going to help bring peace and unite us as we justifiably should be. So
Yeah.
please, I thank you for bringing me up here, and everyone, have a very, be safe, be happy, and be thankful. And like I said, surround yourself with people that are positive, and we're all going to get through this.
I thank you so much for coming up here. And I
And I thank
appreciate
you
you
for
coming.
having
It's been
me.
a while, so I'm glad you came back up to share some truth.
Yeah. And I'll
And
send
thanks
you
for.
some stuff as I get it, because I
Okay,
got
that'd
some
be
really
great.
good stuff. Okay.
I'm looking forward to that, and we'll show it to people on here too. All
Okay.
right.
Take care, everyone.
Okay, Denise.
Thank
We're gonna
you.
bring it down. Let's thank you,
Good night.
Denise. She's our second guest. Let's see here. Let me see who else I'm gonna bring up here. Half Pints next. Then I bring yes, you are. James is gonna be up here with us. I'm gonna get to everybody. I promise you, I will get to everybody here. I'm just doing this randomly here. And we're going to hopefully get Mary and Ray on camera. I know you guys are on live today. I didn't have time to stop in and say hello. But Mary, Ray, good evening. Can you go on camera? All right.
Hey,
There you are. Hey, Mary. Hi, Ray.
hey, how you guys doing?
Things are crazy. I was talking about some of the videos I've been watching on here on TikTok in different parts of the world or parts of the country. I've seen videos in parking lots at night where all the people, no car, all these cars in a shopping center, lights going on and off by themselves. I've seen lights going on off on a street. And another video in some other part of the country, a woman showed during I think nighttime or daytime, people's lights going on and off. So that's really weird. That's starting to happen now. So, welcome to the show. This is Mary. She's been on the show before, everybody. She's in the Appalachian Mountains. They have positive contact with the Anunnaki, who are tall human people, men and women. They've had contact, they've had physical contact, just to give you an introduction. And they have the spaceships, physical spaceships, they have a base over the mountains in their house, not in their house, but outside of their house in the if it was inside their house, they wouldn't be living there. But
Yeah, it might be in our house. We don't know.
that was a Freudian slip, and I probably there's a truth there that I don't understand what it is, but definitely in the mountains, in a very remote area in the Appalachians, Pennsylvania. Tell us what's going on up there in the mountains.
So, I want to talk to everybody because these plasma ships that everybody's seeing, those are our angels that are here helping. And then there's other ships that our star families are in. So, Sandra took a photo or a video of this ship, okay? There is kids on these ships, so please do not shoot them down. Because she got a picture of a child and a dog on one of these ships.
And how big are the ships?
Yeah.
How big are the ships?
So the big ships that are coming around.
Around your area. Can you say who, for entertainment purposes only, can you tell us who Sandra is for people? Not everybody knows who you're talking about in terms of this woman, Sandra.
Sandra follows all of us on our lives.
Okay.
And she was showing a video, and it's got a little girl and a dog on it. So please do not try to shoot these ships down. There is children on these ships.
Interesting. Now, that's the first time. And now, again, we're talking to Mary and Ray. They're up in the Appalachian Mountains. They have direct contact or contactees. If you don't know what a contactee is, they're the opposite of an abductee. They're having contact with Anunnaki, which they're human beings just like we are, and they're very spiritual, and they're actually really tall. They're tall. They're tall people. So that's very interesting that she's documented this, and it would make sense that if people are coming from a distant planetary system, they would bring their family members with them on a big ship, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So please, whatever you do, don't shoot at them.
Yeah, there's a lot of the crazy stuff is, Mary, is that there are these yahoos in government in Washington and other officials in different cities, and some of these people that are, basically not centered in their consciousness, they're saying, oh, why don't we just go up and, do the blank blank? We don't do the blank blank because that's exactly what we do on our planet. The blank blank goes over and shoots the other blank blank, and therefore you have a war.
Right.
That's the mentality of not all human beings, thank God, but it is the mentality of people that are in fear, and the people that are in fear, that's how they think you have to just react to the fear in order to substantiate solving the problem. It doesn't solve anything. You're creating the problem, not solving it.
Right. Well, I just want to let everybody know that they are not here to hurt us or do anything. They're here to help and to stop a nuclear war if it starts. So please.
Yeah. And not only that, they're here to make contact. They're here to make contact, as Mary's saying, but they're also here to make sure we don't try to do what we tried to do in the Cold War era when I was a kid, which is utilize those weapons. And they're trying to make sure we don't do that. But they're also here to make contact with us. So now the question would be: is 8 billion people paying attention on the planet to this right now? I don't think a lot of people are, only because people are so absorbed in their day-to-day life that they're not looking
Right.
up at the sky seeing this. Now, because we're on TikTok or on maybe YouTube, many more people are here on these platforms are paying attention because we're here. But there's still a lot of people, maybe I'm wrong, maybe people are starting to pay attention to it, but I don't know. If I go into a store and bring up the subject, which I haven't done, I'm going to test a theory and say, has anyone heard about this? I went to the market the other day, the woman didn't even know what I was talking about at the cashier counter. So
that's been happening to us too.
I think there are a lot of people in our societies, wherever you are around the planet, that just have no idea what's going on yet. They're not paying attention to it. They will be when it starts getting really crazy in the skies. Then people will start paying attention. When you start seeing real big spaceships hovering over villages and so forth in some little country, then I think people are going to pay attention, right? They're going to start looking at it. Well, Mary, I want to thank you for coming up here too.
And Ray wanted me to tell everybody that they hold us in high regards. They are not like they're not out to hurt us. They hold us in high.
I hear the voice of Ray behind you. Is Ray there? Ray, can you speak? Are you able to speak as a human being on the camera, or is he shy? Ray, can you say something? What's Ray doing?
Oh, he's barely talking.
No.
Okay.
You hear him? You hear him?
Yeah, I hear him. Ray, take care of your throat.
He's got.
I'm going to let Mary translate English. Mary can do the translation. You take care of yourself. You got tell Ray he's got to drink apple cider. Get some apple cider, Ray. You got to get him to.
He's really trying to talk over here.
It hurts.
I know he is. I know he's trying. All right, guys.
Laryngitis, man. I had to talk.
Oh, the laryngitis? Yeah, take care of that and do some exercise. That'll help.
But really, I will. But you guys really don't be in fear of these. They regard us in a high order. So.
Yeah. All right.
And just remember that our angels are with us. They're not going to let anything happen.
Gemini says garlic ray and hot salty water will take care of the laryngitis. Garlic with hot salty water, Ray. No, someone just gave a suggestion. Try doing that. See what happens.
Well, you know what's funny is he did a live today and he was fine and he took a nap and now he's like he has no voice left.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Gemini. Garlic with hot salty water, Ray. Try that tonight.
Okay, he's gonna try it right now.
All right. Okay, Mary, Ray, you guys are a blessing. They are contactees up in the Appalachian Mountains, folks who are watching the show. They have real contact, and they're beautiful people. So thank you for being on here. I appreciate it.
So the Sandra that just gave us the
oh, that's a Sandra?
She's the one that got the video.
Sandra, I'm going to bring Sandra up here. Where's she? Sandra, where are you, Sandra? Say hello to the commander. Where is she? Oh, here she is. I'm going to bring Sandra up here. Oh, yeah. I'm going to put her up in the guest thing.
On the chopping block.
And I'm going to bring up James, too. I'm going to get Sandra up here. I'm going to kind of not go too crazy. So I want to bring Sandra up here, and she's the one about the kids on the ship. Sandra, welcome to Encounters. Yes, you're here. Hey, Sandra, can you turn your camera on?
I can't because I'm in my pajamas. I was not expecting this at all.
Oh, well
I just actually got on the live a minute ago.
Really? If you're wearing pajamas and you're wearing a complete outfit, you'd be good.
No, not quite. Sorry.
All right, and Mary's laughing over there. So, Sandra, tell us what's happening with the kids. Mary was talking about these kids on the ship. Can you give our audience how you know about all this stuff? I think this is fascinating about the kids being on a spaceship, which I wouldn't doubt if they travel from another universe or planet. How did you find out about this? And can you tell us more about that? That's interesting.
Well, I was just sitting. It was not last night. I think it was the night before, the 12th. and it was about 7 o'clock at night. And I was just watching TV, and so my room was pretty dark because I didn't have the lights on, and all of a sudden I seen like this white flashing, like sporadic white flashing, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And of course, I know about the drones or not so drones and all the
Right.
stuff that's going on everywhere. So I like grabbed my phone, jumped out of bed, ran to my window, pulled the screen down, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like right away, I was just like, "What in the world?" It was huge. It was this huge ship, and it had so many lights on it that you couldn't even tell what it looked like because it was just all lights, like all lights, so many pretty lights, and it really did. Like I've heard people say it seemed like slow motion, but it really did seem like slow motion.
Really?
But it
Now,
was just
yeah.
I think the
Continue.
video was only 26 seconds until I hit pause because once it went over the trees, I ran through my house out the back deck and then tried to catch it from the back view, but it was already in the woods, so you could just see like a white light blinking. But then
Wow.
after I looked at the I like to take screenshots and try to find details. So I took a bunch of screenshots and was looking at them, and all of a sudden I started seeing like these. At first, they just looked like little black shadows, and but like in the shape of people. And
People.
yeah, like it definitely had like a head shape with legs and
Really?
arms. And so I started zooming in better, and then like how you can change the lighting a little bit,
Yeah.
and you can bring out better features that way. So I would like I don't know how to edit like a professional. I only use what's on my phone, which is I have light and then contrast.
And did these people, for my audience all over the world, were they human like us in the images that you were seeing? At least, Mary said you saw a
I think
picture
they
with
were.
looks like people with a dog, and
Yeah.
on Earth we have people that with pets, cats, dogs, right?
Yeah, it looked like a little girl
A little girl, interesting,
with a dog or a cat.
with
I
a
couldn't
dog,
tell what it was, what kind of animal.
interesting.
You should be able to see it in the picture. I mean, you just
I'm
look at
following
it,
you.
and if you,
Is the picture on your live that we can look at?
on my live,
I mean, can you send me a picture? I mean, can you send me an actual a picture of the frame of that with the kid, and I'll put it on here?
yeah, I sent you the I think I sent it to you. But do you want me to
Send
send
it
it to
again.
your?
Yeah, send it again because I'm getting so many. I'm getting spaceship UFO footage from everywhere, and
Oh, I bet.
I'm trying to. People asking, "Pan, did you look at my video?" I'm getting so many messages.
Half
I'm
Pint can
trying to keep
probably
up.
show you. She saw them.
Do you
I
have the
don't know
picture,
if
Pan?
Half Pint can turn her phone around and show you from hers. I don't, because I
Do
don't
you
know how
have a
to do
picture
this
of Half
stuff.
Pint? Did she send it to you? Do you have a photo?
I didn't download it though. Aren't you supposed
She
to
didn't download. Don't
download
worry
it?
about it.
Oh, okay.
If I will get the photo. If you send it to me, I will put it up tomorrow night. We'll show it tomorrow night on the show.
Okay, and anyone else can look at my page too. They're up.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
can you
Take
yeah,
a look
can
and
at it.
then
tell though. You can
what?
tell there's a child and a dog on that
Yeah,
ship.
just
Oh,
remember,
Jackson
like
said it. Oh, Jackson's on her page. I'll have to take a look,
Yeah.
Jackson. Thank you.
you got to swipe to the left so you can see all the pictures. Cause there's a few different ones. Like one looks like a lady wearing a dress. Um,
Interesting.
you can see like the shape of her hairdo, and then you see her dress and her two legs,
Wow.
and it looks like
See,
a child. I think it looks like a child, like
yeah,
reaching up to her knees, like how a kid would be like, "Pick me up," you know.
yeah. Pick me up. Wow. So this is if I show this picture, I think it's going to blow people's minds. I think that's exactly what I want to do.
It blew my
So
mind.
this
Oh
is
yeah.
and this is what I'm trying to say. People, we're so used to being programmed about every ET has to be a low vibe ET. It's either a monster looking one, a Zeta, or a reptilian. I've been telling people for a long time that there are two sides to the coin, cosmically speaking. Yes, there are low vibe ETs that are in the third dimension that are not able to ascend to a higher level. And then there are the star people that are like us, that are more advanced. They've been advanced for eons of time. They live thousands of years. They look to be 20 or 30 years old. And they are out there, and they are coming here to Earth. They're coming here for a reason. And they're coming, in
Yeah,
this
I think
case, I've
so.
never heard of a thing where And I can tell you that my family that I know about, that I'm hopefully going to see before the end of 2025 for the first time. I have two sisters on a spaceship that are human, a brother, a mother, and a father, and they are
Mm-hmm.
human. So
Yeah.
it correlates to everything you're saying. Now, if you don't believe that you have possibly not just your earth-based mother and father here with your little kids, maybe you're married and you have a little, son or a daughter, or a grown-up son or a daughter. Maybe you never got married, but you had a parent that birthed you into this Earth society. That you actually do have space family that are not just generally your space family from another planet. I think most people, and I can't necessarily prove it, I think most people like Mary and Ray, they have family with the Anunnaki. There's a connection with the
Right.
Anunnaki that they
Yeah.
have. That's why they're having connections like that. I think many of you, if you consider yourself a star seed, you're having connections with what I call your star family. You might be starting to have visual contact with them. You might be starting to see
It's all happened
spaceships.
almost like
Yeah.
textbooked. Like when I had my first sighting in 2019, and from there I went to TikTok just to look up UFOs to see if I could find one that looked like what I saw, to see if it was a UFO or if it was a meteor, because I didn't know
Hmm.
anything about that stuff. Just
Yeah.
just in 2019. And
Wow.
it snowballed from there. Then I started hearing about ascension, and then I started doing meditation, and then I did some regression work, and it all just like unfolded. And then I could see beings and certain energies, and I could manifest a little bit here and there, and um, it,
Yeah.
it really just started unfolding. And then my granddaughter had that one experience when she woke up and was flipping out saying, "Oh my God, Nani, you wouldn't believe
Yeah.
it." And I told the story on here one time, and
Yeah.
she was being trained, and it was all so exciting, and uh, and it's all been just going like everyone said it would.
Yeah.
If you're
Absolutely.
waking up.
Yeah.
And
If you're
you
waking
know you
up.
want it for everybody, and it's so hard when people say they can't see, and you don't want them to think that they're not special, and but you also don't know how to explain, like, you do have to do some work. I'm sorry, like,
Yeah. You have to do the
if you're
work.
not just
Yeah.
gifted enough to be, like, some people are gifted higher than others. They just are gifted more. They're more
Or
open to their
they're
gifts,
more open.
even
Yeah.
though we're all the same. They're more
We're all the
open to it,
same.
maybe.
Yeah, people wake like you're saying, Sandra, is like they're, if you feel like, why does that person have more seeability and having visitations with space people physically and I'm not? Well, it's because you have to do the work. You have to really
Yeah.
do the work. You have to
Unless you
meditate. You
just
have to
happen to
really,
be
really get
gifted.
into it.
Some people are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You
but
know,
yeah, you do the work if it's not just happening easily, and it
yeah.
will happen. It will
Well, I
definitely
appreciate
happen.
it. Sandra, I'm
Yeah,
gonna look at
thanks.
that picture. I'm gonna get a copy of it on my other tablet, and I'll show it on here of the little kid with the dog on the
Cool.
spaceship. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be
Enjoy.
interesting. All right,
You know
I want to
what,
thank you.
Commander, I can go out and then do a screenshot and
Okay,
bring you
then come
back
back
in.
up. Okay, I'm
Hmm.
gonna also bring James up here. And Sandra,
Have a
thank
good
you very
night,
much for sharing that
everyone.
story. That's a
And
fantastic
hey,
story. I appreciate
Sandra,
that.
thank
Awesome.
you for coming up.
All right, Sandra.
Thanks
Next
for
time we
having
get you
me.
up here, I want you to have your clothes on.
They're mostly on.
Okay, very good. I don't want to get in
Good
trouble here.
night.
So. All right, take care. Let's see. I'm going to go to James, my good friend James. James is next. Hey, James, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, Commander. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, it's a pleasure to have you on. You've been, and let me give an introduction to James. If you don't know who James is, he's Yes You Are. I met James when I first came on TikTok before I knew anything about what I was going to do here, and I had an affinity for James and what he was doing, and his vibrational energies are so beautiful. James is a special person. Not that not everybody's not special. Everyone's special in their own way, but James is definitely a star seed from the day I met him. James is able to communicate with the space people, and he brings in not orbs of past loved ones. He brings in orbs that are connected with the galactic levels of light. he just does it. He, with his palm of hands, he can do something, and however that works, I'm still always blown away with James. He will. They just are all over him. I mean, the Galactics are all over him. They love him. They're with him all the time. They can take, if they wanted to take a form into a physical human form, I bet you they can do it. They choose not to, but he is amazing, and you can see a picture of him with his hands there. No, James, I wanted to ask you, with all the things now going really crazy on our planet, what's been happening where you are? Have anything happened that you want to share that's really kind of interesting? I'm sure there is.
Well, yeah. Just a brief introduction, guys. For those who don't know me, please follow me and support this love. So when I was 20 years old, I bought a book about out of body experiences. I never heard about them before. The day I bought that book, I took it home, read the first 14 pages, laid down just like any other kid would, and tried to have an out of body experience, and I did. That experience was so profound and full of light that it changed me. Um, any guessing of what was reality became a knowing because I experienced a love that was greater than I could ever imagine.
Mm.
From that experience, I started studying out of body experiences and proceeded to have out of body experiences, which led to my having contact with light beings. One of my first experiences is I was flying around the sky and saw a UFO, and I got excited and went right through the hole. And lo and behold, there was 12 to 15 light beings all radiating peace and love to me, and I reflected that energy back to them. Now,
Hmm. Hmm.
because of my first experience of the higher dimensions, I've been able to make contact because of that love and that feeling and that light many different times out of the body. So throughout the years of practicing out of body experiences and doing these contacts, what eventually evolved is I would call extraterrestrials in the out of body experience, and something would appear in the sky and it would merge with me. I began pulling them into my body, and we began changing together into different things. Like sometimes they would turn into a pair of levitation boots, and I had to meditate and be still, or else it would be wobbly. One time it turned into a chariot, but I got into the habit of just being open with them and merging with them. So what's really fascinating about this time with all this drone stuff is when I do these experiences out of the body, they look like drones sometimes when they come down and merge with me. So I thought that was interesting about this time too. So what eventually happened is after many years of doing this, keeping it to myself, in 2009, I discovered orbs. And then I made contact with orbs by taking digital pictures and confirmed that they were real and confirmed that they would like to show themselves to the world, and they could, if they could use me to show you guys their reality. So if you follow me, you're going to see thousands of light
Oh
beings.
yeah, absolutely.
Thousands.
He has real contact. James has, he's been doing this before I even came on TikTok, and so he's one of those people that out of 8 billion people is actually having physical manifestations. And here's some of the pictures. Look at the colors. These are all higher dimensional consciousness in an orb color of consciousness. Now, and my understanding is that if they wanted to take a form of, let's say, a 5'9" person, male or woman, they can do that. But with James, they love him. They're coming because he's at the same vibrational frequency as they are. He's at that galactic frequency. So when you see these things, the light beings, they've been showing James forever who they are. He's already has contact. So just imagine what James's contact is going to be like when we have physical contact on the planet in 2026. It's going to be crazy.
Right, right, and
James, James, that is so cool because my husband gets that. Like he has orbs coming and sitting on his hands. He has them coming through his body. It's pretty amazing.
right, and
Wow.
actually, they have a message that I'd like to share, and
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here with everything going on, absolutely.
the message was took a picture showing my girlfriend many years ago that the orbs were real, and one appeared above my head with a word in it. And this is actually the one with the word in it.
Can anybody read that? I want to see how good people's visual energy is there. You see it? What does it say? I can read it. I want to see if anyone else can.
You read this
The orb
lettering?
says what? I want to test the audience here. Yes, they got it. They're seeing it, James. They got it.
Yes, it says love. And
Yep.
and so when I discovered these orbs, I went through a awakening where I started cropping orb circles. And then I thought one day, what about crop circles? Could there be a connection to me cropping these orb circles? And they said, yes, there is a connection, not through verbal, but through frequency and pictures. They basically confirmed to me that, yes, they're somehow connected with crop circles.
Interesting. See the symbol. It's a symbolism, and we know in crop circles there are messages encoded by the space people in crop circles. My friend Colin Andrews in Connecticut, who I'm good friends with, he's on Facebook, not on TikTok. We've been communicating about all the crazy stuff going on, and right here in Connecticut, we're starting to see activity now in the last couple of nights. Not in my area. I've looked for it here. I haven't seen it yet, but again, it's really cold out. I'm not going to stand out for 2 hours looking, but. There's stuff happening all over New England, and with Colin Andrews, if you study Colin Andrews, he was one of the foremost researchers of crop circles in the UK near where Stonehenge is, that whole area, Salisbury Hill. He has tons of documented. He's written books, and I know him personally. We've been communicating on Facebook about this other stuff going on with the orbs and all this other stuff all over the world. So. Well, James, I know I only have a few more minutes. I'm going to be out of here by 12:45. I promised my better half that I would cut myself down before 2, so I'm trying to keep my promise.
Okay.
So James, I want to give you the floor, and then Mary, and then if you're on queue right now, everyone on queue, I'll bring you on tomorrow night live. Let's see how many people we got here. We have 2 guest requests, B and 999. So B and 999 tomorrow night will bring you guys on first. And also, I'm looking for people that are, keep tuned where you are. If anything weird happens, if the lights in your town start blinking, I want to know about that. If people's car lights in shopping centers are going crazy, or lights on the street poles are going nuts, that's starting to happen. I've been watching video here. I want to know about that. We're going to keep you abreast. I'm going to show. I think tomorrow night I'm going to show some footage at the beginning of the show. I think I'm not going to be able to get to it tonight. I will show some videos tomorrow night that I think will blow you away. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. So any final
By the
comments
way,
from?
Commander,
Go ahead. Yeah.
when those cars' lights are going off, that's a ship coming over.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of. Yeah.
It's the kinetic energy pulling on the systems, so it makes them start going off.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, and James, I want to give you the last bids here, and then and again, if you want to be a guest tomorrow night, please, if you know people that need to be on here, we'll get in. Do I help with block dreams? If they're cosmic dreams, I can help unblock you so you can have contact with your space family. I do that on my show. James, what would you like to say before we sign off for the night?
What I would like to say is, from my own personal experience, love has been the key to the foundation of discovery. And what I mean by that is, don't hinder yourselves with this world. Don't think too much into the negative of this world, because all you're doing is dimming your light. I want you guys to start envisioning yourselves as formless beings expressing themselves in human form. I want you to start to feel comfortable with the unknown, and know that life is just as beautiful as it is and exotic on this planet. It's even more so in the universe. So when you elevate your feelings and your thoughts and your emotions to a certain frequency of oneness, you go outside, get the CE5 app, like Commander was saying, and do your own work, do your own research, and make contact. And don't just do it for yourself, do it for the planet. Know that a new age is coming, and that we as human beings are reaching a level where we are attracting higher level beings. So I just want everyone to know that don't fear, be brave, and go out and embrace the unknown. All the unknown is hidden knowledge. That's all mystery is hidden knowledge. Gain the wisdom and know that you are more than a human. You are a sun. You are a light. You are a flame of life in this word, and speak your world into existence.
All right, James. Well said, my friend. And James is on live on TikTok at various times. I think in the morning a lot. And also Half Pint is on there. She was on this. They were on this afternoon or earlier. So Half Pint's on. If you can follow them, they're on at times. I don't know what time you guys are on, but whenever you're on, if you follow them, they'll be on here at some point during the day or early evening. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here. I want to thank my audience for being here. And it's been a great show. We'll be on tomorrow night at 11 o'clock, Monday night, for Encounters, a show that's out of this world. And I want to thank everybody. You've been great. Keep your phones ready. Record wherever you are in the world. Record things if they're definitely extraterrestrial. If you're seeing spaceships, please let us know. Record it, document it, take photos. It's really important now that people are on top of this thing. Things are going to get crazy, folks, in a good way. And the world is being shaken up by the galactic forces. This world, this earth is now being shaken up. Your consciousness is going to be shattered. If you're asleep, you're not going to be sleeping anymore. I guarantee it. All right, everybody, take care. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Be well.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you, James.
All right, take care, everybody.